to the Be Better podcast with Infinity Real Estate Services. True stories from Bakersfield's business owners and entrepreneurs. We have sold over 50,000 homes in the Kern County area, and we are still going. Delete your limiting beliefs. If you have a dream, turn it into a goal. Only massive, inspired action will get you to where you want to be. If you're starting a business or looking to grow one, you're in the right spot. Welcome to the Be Better experience.
What's up, guys? It's Lee Barrison with the Be Better podcast and Infinity Real Estate Services, coming to you live from our local headquarters here in Bakersfield, California. I am a real estate broker, but I also tend to, get to know other people, whether they be entrepreneurs, whether they be small business owners, whether they be just anybody out there that focuses on growing, whether it be personal, whether it be business, no matter what it is, health, family, careers, whatever the story is. I like to bring guests onto our show that might be able to provide you with some value. And I want to thank you to everyone that supports this podcast and also chooses to listen. And so if you like what you hear from this podcast, don't hesitate to to share, to like. And today I have a very, very special guest, somebody who I've known for 17 and a half years. He is my son, Noah Barrison. Noah Daniel Barrison, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate being on the podcast. And it's been a long time.
Yes, it has been. It's been 17 and a half years long.
Mm-hmm, real long.
Yeah. So Noah, before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself. So you're 17 and a half years old. You're not your typical 17 and a half year old kid.
Definitely I'm not.
Right.
No. I'm a senior in high school right now. I'm just finishing out the year, kind of just trying to get it over with a little bit. Mm-hmm. I spent a lot of my school days reading. I'm really interested into reading. I've played basketball for 4 years. Mm-hmm. My freshman year, I went to Highland High School, played basketball 1 year there, and then 3 years at East Bakersfield High School. And through the way, I met some really interesting people, some really good people that I look up to, mm-hmm. Some role models for me. And then basketball just ended this February, so now it's just a new chapter in my life, just building a foundation for my future career, for what I want for myself. But yeah, I'm really into church. I go 3 times a week, mm-hmm. and I'm close-knit with my family, and I like spending time with my family and my friends. It's like just pretty much what I do. I stay pretty consistent with mm-hmm. the things that I do, consistent in school. I don't really have a hard time getting the good grades I need.
I know it.
Yeah. And,
unlike your father.
And consistent in reading. I'm really interested in pursuing a future career in real estate, mm-hmm. and so building a foundation for myself right now is really what this new chapter of my life, I believe, what it's about, mm-hmm. and of course giving it all to God, and I pray to God about it every single day, just giving Him my future, and I believe it's real important that I have that foundation, that strong foundation for myself to enter this new area of my life.
This new chapter of your life, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. So you're 17 and a half, soon to be 18. You played 4 full years of basketball, point guard. You really performed well in all 4 years of your high school, basketball. You always have had about a 4.0 GPA, I believe.
Yeah, pretty
right?
much.
And so, here's a question that I had for you, son, right? Mm-hmm. Is being that you're so good in school naturally, right? And, obviously you are going to take some college courses, but you're determined to get your real estate license and basically become a second generation Barrison in this
Absolutely.
business, local
mm-hmm.
Infinity, second generation real estate agent. So, instead of going to school to become a physician or an attorney, these jobs out there that require a lot of school, being that you're a natural in school, why did you choose to really venture getting into real estate versus, getting a career as a doctor or getting a career as somebody that has the natural ability to just do good in school?
Well, that's a great question. I believe in just that area of real estate of being an independent contractor. I believe that your responsibility is your success. You're responsible for your own success. You shouldn't be counting on really anybody else to come pick you up and feed you with a silver spoon. And I really like I've known the real estate game for 17 years of my life, driving around to listing appointments with you all day long and being bored and all that stuff. But what I see from it is really, you don't really have any limits to what you can do.
True.
You don't have any limits. If you want to do 0 transactions this month, you can go ahead and sit on the couch all month long. You don't want to come to the office, you can. But really, that's not what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at is the flip side of it, the latter, is you can really do as much as you put yourself to, as much as you get out of real estate what you put into it. And that's what I really saw in basketball. In basketball, the best ones on the team, the ones that were all getting all the play time, they were the ones who were coming early to Saturday practice. They were the ones who weren't missing practices. They were the ones who always, stayed responsible, stayed consistent. And that's something I just noticed. I feel like that's just a common theme of just success, of all successful people. Those people are consistent, and they really don't apply limits to themselves and what they can do in their careers.
I love it, Noah. Listen, guys, for all the listeners out there, trust me, he's only 17 and a half years old. He speaks like he's 30, but he's not, okay? But, and I think maybe, just based off maybe some of my experiences and maybe, success in this business, you started realizing, like you said, there is no limit to the amount of freedom. There's no limit to the amount of wealth. There's no limit to the amount of income. But you've also it's reciprocal, right? So depending on how much you put into it, like you said, is what you actually get out of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you, let's talk a little bit about your real estate career. What do you envision yourself in? Give me a 3 to 5 year plan in Noah's mind.
Well, obviously, you got all your 18-year-old kids that get a real estate license. As you said before, the average lifespan of a real estate agent is 12 to 12 months. They get into it, they don't make any sales, and they're out, because everybody thinks that when they get into the game or when they get into any game that they're trying to get in their life, it's automatic overnight success. But the reality is it doesn't work like that.
Sure. Yeah.
And so, honestly, like what I said before, it's just about building a foundation. That's what these next 3 to 5 years of my life, honestly, I'm just want to dedicate to building a foundation and first working to learn and not to earn. I don't really expect to become...
Hold on, say that again. You just dropped a bomb.
Yeah, working to learn and not to earn.
I love it, yeah.
Because, a lot of people get into this game with the wrong mindset.
Sure.
And I believe, I believe that God has helped me a lot with that, just giving it all to Him and just being humble and just bringing me down to earth. Because the truth is, God doesn't keep anything. God gives everything. And so God's going to give you all what you need. He's not going to give you everything you want, and His will is going to be done on earth like it is in heaven. And so I'm really a firm believer in that, and that just directing my focus into earning it. Not earning, but learning in this game.
Yeah. Building the foundational.
Building the foundation,
yeah.
Because the truth is, you told me before, and also what Mike Ferry said before, he said that money is just a simple measurement tool of how you treat people. It's simply the service you provide to people. And I believe in serving people, like putting the people before yourself, and that's really a common principle of what God has ministered me to do.
I love that, Noah. You know what? And you're absolutely right. And we've had multiple conversations about life in general, but I love the fact that you're, and I've told you this time and time again, never ever put money in front of people, right? Because nothing's ever going to work out in your favor. I don't care how much money you want to put in front of people, not service your clients correctly, but just looking for that quick paycheck, right?
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
Right. So when you do get licensed, because here, folks out there that are listening, Noah is already in the process of taking his prerequisites in order to take a state license exam. He wants to do that perhaps in the first week of turning 18 years old. He's over 65% done, I believe, as of last night.
Yes.
And so he's obviously, on the downhill slope in order to go take the state exam. So when you do get your license, Noah, what are your honest expectations once you get licensed? Are you going to have to work excessively hard? Are you going to have to practice a lot? Are you going to start making Facebook posts and wait for somebody somehow, some way in order to contact you? What does that look like?
I think it's just that's a great question. I just think it's just all in hard work. It's all in really going out to get, because there is 3 ways to get business. You either buy it, you wait for it, or you go out and get it.
Yes.
And I believe the third way is that's your best bet if you want to make any type of production in this business. And so I think, like, I've seen the Facebook people, all the people just got their license and they're posting everybody else's listings, and I will come and it kind of just pumps their image up a little bit, because we are in the business of image. Everybody wants to. It's a really big ego business, and so but I believe that just putting your ego aside and getting down and getting down to hard work and going out and getting business, knocking on doors, making your cold calls, and being consistent each and every day. I believe that's your guaranteed formula of doing some type of production in this business.
There's 2 types of agents, right? And I'll ask you, there's active
and there's passive agents.
And passive. So can you explain to the audience, like, what is the difference between active and passive?
So if you're a seller and an agent's trying to sell your house, the active agent, after taking the listing, he's going to spend all his time. He's going to dedicate his time to going out and talking to people to get your home sold. He's going to be active or he or she's going to be active in getting that home sold by talking to people, connections. It's all about networking. It's the business of talking to people. It's a contact sport. You can't sit on the couch and wait for your home to get sold, because it doesn't work like that.
Hold on, you said it's a contact sport.
It's a contact sport.
So is this like a numbers game? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
What do you mean, a numbers game? What if I just put a really elaborate post together and sit back and enjoy the music?
You see, you can't guarantee that people are going to go and see that post, but you can guarantee that people are going to respond to you when you go out and knock on their door. You can guarantee some phone calls getting answered. I mean, there's so many ways that you can advertise your home, and I just believe that being that active agent, that's what's going to get your home sold.
What are your thoughts, Noah, about rejection?
My thoughts about rejection, I believe it's a great thing. I believe it's something that taking it in the right way that you should be shooting for, because the more rejection you get, that's how much closer you are to getting that acceptance. The more rejection, that's how much closer you are to getting that, oh yeah, I want to sell my home today, And so working at that, you have to fall in love with the process of getting rejected. You have to fall in love with the process of making the phone calls repeatedly, and it's going to be boring. I already know that.
Well, it depends on boring, because you can play the game, which makes it exciting.
Yeah, of course.
Or you can hunker down.
Yeah,
that's not real boring. That is boring and very mundane too. So
absolutely, and it's all about keeping the same attitude, because you can control you can't control what happens to you, but you can't control your reaction. You can't control getting hung up. You can't control the people saying no, but you can't control your reaction. And
your emotions.
Exactly, your emotions. So if I'm calling somebody hangs up on me. Get off of my phone, and taking that personally, that would make somebody want to switch their emotions. They get all mad, and the next call they pick up, oh, you want to sell your home? No, that's not gonna get deals closed.
Sure.
It's all about being consistent, learning your scripts, and repeat, and that's all there is to it.
Simple.
It's simple, but it's not easy.
Right.
Yep.
Simple, but it's not easy. So. You said a lot of great stuff right there. I mean, there. And here's the other thing that blows my mind sometimes is that there's people in this business. The average agent sells about 4 houses per year in the United States right now, and there's people in this business that have been in it for 5, 10, 15 years, still selling 4, 5, 6 houses per year, and they just can't embrace the process, like you said. And look at we were talking about this yesterday, as a matter of fact. So, as many of you guys know, for the longest time, I had a reputation here in Bakersfield to where I expected people to show up to the office every day. I expected people to make phone calls and talk to people every day. I expected people to work out every day. And I had more than one occasion where the agent comes to me and their current broker, as they interview with me, tells them, you don't want to go work with Lee or at Infinity. And the agent will ask, why? Well, because he expects you to show up to work every day.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Isn't that crazy? Okay. And then the agent asks, of course, because they're concerned. I mean, you mean I got to show up to the office every day? No, you don't have to show up at all. Okay, well, what about talking to people every day? Do I got to talk to people every day? Because that's what their broker tells them.
Nope.
No, you don't have to talk to anyone. As a matter of fact, you can be a secret agent. Well, what's a secret agent? They're the agents that have really skinny kids. Okay? Or
right.
the agent might ask, and I also was told that I have to work out every day. No, you don't have to work out at all. But if you want to be in good shape, because good health brings good mindset.
Your health is your wealth. Yeah.
Your health is your wealth. And so, no, you don't have to do any of that. But it was very flattering when these agents would tell me that kind of stuff, because it's almost like they're contradicting what's good for you. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Do I have to show up at the office every day? No. But if you do, you'll make more money. Do I have to make phone calls every day? No. But if you do, you'll have more rental properties in the next 5 years, or more retirement that you can look forward to. Do I have to work out every day? No. But I mean, if you want to be a bump on a log and be out of shape, that creates a bad mindset. So it's really up to you, but you're welcome to come work for me.
Exactly. You're doing something right when you hear that stuff.
Right. It's very contradictory. So, with that being said, we're going to wrap this podcast up now. But there's a few things that I want to share with you, okay? Number one, I'm so freaking proud of you, okay?
Thank you.
Very, very proud of you. Number two, as well as I do, because you're a smart young man, that you're stepping into this game with blind faith, assuming that if what Dad says and if I put my nose to the grindstone, it's all going to work out. Would you agree?
Absolutely, yes.
Good. And so the last thing I want to tell you is that I love you very, very much, and I appreciate being, working together with you in the very near future. So. With that being said, guys, any local real estate agents out there, you got to look out for this kid. He's coming, and he understands the game already. And so, for anybody out there, Noah, that is in your shoes, they're thinking about getting into real estate, or maybe they're still in high school and they've heard some good things, or maybe they're following some people on IG and they see these agents driving these fancy cars and they think it's all glitz and glam, right? Why don't you give them about 2 minutes of your time on that?
Anything worth doing is worth giving your all to. If you're gonna put your mind to something, that's it. If you want to be an NFL player, there's no reason why you shouldn't be practicing every single day of the week, and in all areas of your life, just bettering yourself. It's all about self-improvement, and I just think that somebody that's wanting to get into real estate. Part-time hours get part-time results. Full-time hours get full-time results.
Man, you were dropping bombs this morning.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's all about focus. If you focus on all this unnecessary stuff, on all the side stuff, I believe in the 80-20 rule. 80% of the stuff is nonsense. 20% of the stuff is what gets you what you want. And so just really, it's just about directing your focus to the things that really matter in life, the things that really matter, the things that your money-making activities, your self-improvement. MMAs.
Mixed martial arts?
No, money-making activities.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, but it's all about focus, though.
Sure.
You look at every person that's ever been successful in their field of work. LeBron James played basketball. I mean, he practices every single day. Yeah, I mean, it's a proven formula for all these people. I mean, it's really about just focus and changing the way you think. If you think at a high level, you will be a high value person. If you think at a low level, you'll be a low value person. I see a lot of people my age at my schools, 80%. I mean, nowadays, I don't want to sound like an old head, but with this new generation, 90% of the stuff that comes out of people's mouths is complete nonsense.
Oh, man.
It's not going to matter. You know, it's
well, you had senior ditch day last week.
Yep.
And you could have taken advantage of that day and gone off and did whatever you wanted to do that day.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But you chose to spend the day at the office with Dad.
Mm-hmm. Just
I don't know what's wrong with you, kid, but you know, you're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just and then again, just it's also about your environment.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who expects to be successful or who expects to be what they like. Who expects to be what they want to be, and hanging around with stuff that doesn't have anything to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a firm believer in like who your best friends
who you
are.
surround yourself with.
That's who you become.
Yep. The books you read.
Absolutely.
The things you listen to.
The
things you tell yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
The things that you let into your heart, that
Yes.
becomes you. That changes you over time.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. It's harsh reality for some people, but you know, a lot of people they can't come to accept that. Like, I can't. I really learned that through like being in church and having a closer connection with God. Like, I can't be hanging around these people who are over here toxic and doing things that don't associate with what I need for my future. I have my vision for my future. So what's your vision for your future? Are you doing the things today that are going to help you tomorrow? Are you focusing on the things that you really need to be focused on? Like, just reflecting on yourself is really important. So I believe that will build your future. Just like looking at the things that you're doing right now, does that add up? If it does, just keep on doing it and just giving it all to it. And that's pretty much it for me.
Very good. No, I appreciate that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Be Better podcast. We are here to wrap this show up, but you can expect another podcast with me and Noah Barrison in the near future. We're going to maybe circle back and see how his success has been since he got his license and all that good stuff. But with that being said, if you have any questions, comments, or you want to reach out and talk about real estate or how to make more money in this business, you can reach me at 661-213-6857, or you can log on to our website at BeBetterAgents.com. Talk to you soon, guys. Have a great day.